What's going on YouTube? Blazeshadowthorn here. We got yourselves another Wi-Fi battle. So it's going to be an OU match against Zoe. Looking over at my team pretty quickly, just going to run through it since this is going to be a team I'm going to be using for the next few OU matches I'm going to be uploading. We got a Choice Bandit Scissor, especially defensive Rose Raid, physically defensive Heatran. We got a Specs Noivern, Scarf Raikou, and then a Mega Gardevoir. Looking over at my opponent's team, definitely very nice team. She has either that Sashed or Scarf Mamoswine. She's got that nice defensive core of probably Clefable and Gliscor. She has either a Mega Gyarados or a Mega Latios, both of which are equally viable. And if not, both of them have the potential to be scarfed. She also has that Conkeldurr running around, so I have to, be careful about what I status since that thing is most likely Guts. So, leading off, I'm going to be leading off my Scizor predicting the Mamoswine lead. As I do get it correctly, she does lead off the Mamoswine. Right off the bat, I really want to go for a Bullet Punch, but at the same time, I really don't feel like I can risk that because I really don't think she'll stay in on a Bullet Punch. So she's going to switch out. She's going to go into Scorgo, her Gliscor. As I do make the right play, I go for the U-turn. Even if she'd stayed in, I could have potentially broken a Sash, which now I'm beginning to think that is a Sash lead Mamoswine. Since she did lead with it. So, seeing that she brought in the Gliscor, I see this is a perfect opportunity to bring in Miss Syncore, my Mega Gardevoir, because Mega Gardevoir's Harbor Voice does have a 100% chance to OHKO at the range of HP that this Gliscor is at. So either it stays in and dies, or it switches out and something gets to a KO'd. So I'm perfectly happy with both of those options. Gonna go for the Protect just to get the 12% that she lost from the U-turn back. It's a good play, just because if she gets enough HP back, Harbor Voice is not a guaranteed OHKO. It has like an 80% chance to OHKO though. So fortunately though, I do get a higher roll, or the high roll that I needed, and I'm able to knock out the Gliscor, which is great for me, so I don't have to worry about that thing anymore. Now what she's gonna do, she's gonna bring in the Mamoswine. Not entirely sure why. Probably that kind of leads me to believe that it's Scarf, but at the same time she did lead with it, so I'm still not entirely sure. Gonna go out into the Sisburn, just because I wasn't sure what move it wanted to go for, and I didn't feel safe switching it in my Noivern on a predicted Earthquake, just in case it wasn't Scarfed, and then she followed it up with an Ice Shard. I would have had to play around that. So I do end up going out into the Scizor, and takes a lot of damage from that. I end up going for a Bullet Punch just because I was not comfortable going for a U-turn predicting the switch out, just because she might predict me to over-predict. So I did want to go for the safe play, which was the Bullet Punch, get a little bit of damage off on the Gyarados before I end up switching out into my Rose Raid. I go out into my Rose Raid, even though my Rose Raid is not physically defensive, it's specially defensive. It's better than going out into my Heatran, which would have straight up died to this Earthquake. As it is, Rose Raid does absolutely nothing this game, as it is just going to die to 2 Earthquakes. So that happens. Gonna go now into Fly By Night away from here. The good old Rush song, Fly By Night, the Noivern. He ends up switches out, goes out into Pixie, the Clefable. I end up predicting this go for a Hurricane, but of course I missed because, a spoiler alert, actually I don't hit any of my Hurricanes this game, which is like really unfortunate. But anyways, gonna switch out, gonna go on to the Lava Golem, as she tries to predict this, goes out, double switches out into a Gyarados. So that's definitely a good play by her, getting that nice switch initiative, because this forces me to switch out once again, because I don't want to lose Lava Golem, because Lava Golem is one of my only checks to that Clefable, just on the off chance. Because it resists Moonblast, so it is pretty much and plus I have Roar on that thing too, so if it sets up enough I can just roar it out. Anyways, goes for the Waterfall, I switch in Fly By Night, ends up making the same play, going back out into the Clefable, make the same exact play, go for the Hurricane, and again I missed, so pretty much nothing happened. Gonna go out into the DM Bobcats, actually predicting the double back out into Gyarados, because that's what she did last time. Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. She's ended up going for a Moonblast, which is pretty good for her. Not quite good for me, because I am gonna take a little bit of damage, and I end up getting a special attack drop, which is terrible. Don't want to go for the Volt Switch, just because I figured that was too obvious. So I'm gonna double out into my Scizor, predicting a double out into her Mamoswine, which definitely pays off, as she does pull the switch out into the Mamoswine, so I did get that correctly. I do pack Shadow Ball on here, so I could have potentially went for the Shadow Ball, but I did not feel comfortable KOing the Mamoswine with Shadow Ball, so I didn't end up going for that. Anyways, she's gonna end up switching out into Latios, which I do not understand that play, because even if I went for the U-turn, that would have died. As it is, it gets to a KO by Bullet Punch. I would have definitely pulled the switch back out into Gyarados, just because even if I did go for the U-turn, it gets the Intimidate drop on it, and also it resists both of them anyways. So what he's going to do is he's going to go out into the Conkelder, which I cannot pronounce that nickname, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce that nickname. Going to go out into Masinkor though, however. If I want to go for the knockoff, it's neutral, and I'm a Mega Stone, so it can't knock it off. If it wants to go for like a Bull Punch, Mach Punch or something, I can easily take that. Because I quad resist that. As you can see here, I did eat up that knockoff, and it goes for the Mach Punch. Does absolutely nothing because I quad resist that. Able to go for the Hyper Voice, and I'm just able to knock out that Conkelder because Conkelder was a huge threat. Conkelder is a massive threat in this tier, especially in the metagame right now. It's definitely a really big threat. Ends up going out into the Mamoswine. Gonna go for the Ice Shard. I'm not entirely sure why. I do believe Mamoswine outspeeds, but maybe he thought it would kill, and it almost did, but unfortunately for him, it did not. Able to go for the Hyper Voice, get a critical hit. Crit obviously didn't matter, as you can see right here, it is Focus Sashed. And 2 Ice Shards is end up killing off my my Mega Gardevoir. So, you know, Mega Gardevoir goes down, but it did do enough work. It did weaken down my opponent's team. Right here, I make a terrible play. I go into my Noivern completely forgetting that it just showed me Ice Shard. I was like, I can outspeed this thing, hit it up with like a boom or something. As soon as that happens, like, wow. I legitimately wasted my Noivern. Like, and that Noivern would have been a huge threat to my opponent as well. So that misplay definitely cost me right there, as I did lose a huge threat to my opponent's team. Ends up doubling out and going out to Pixie. I really wanted to predict this too, because I really thought it might do that, but at the same time, if it was at 1 HP, wanted to sack it off, I really couldn't risk that. End up getting the special defense drop with the Shadow Ball, which is definitely very helpful for me, just because this puts a lot of offensive pressure on her and forces the switch right here. If I didn't get that, I honestly feel like she would have stayed in here and not be forced to death fodder the Mammo right here, just because the special defense drop would allow me to possibly 2 KO, if not 3 KO the Pixie, the Clefable thing, which definitely would have been very helpful. So special defense drop definitely mattered in my opinion. Gonna go now out into the Gyarados. Intimidate drop happens. I really feel like at this point in time, since you didn't Mega Evolve with the Latios, I do feel like this is going to be her Mega, and I feel like she's going to Mega right now. So I end up pulling the switch out into Lava Golem. Kind of a risky play, to be completely honest, but because Earthquake was kind of obvious, but at the same time I really needed a clean switch out into something, and I do feel like at this point in time Lava Golem is my most expendable Pokemon, because I do also have my Scizor in my back pocket to bullet punch that Clefable. So really Lava Golem's livability and like necessity on the team right now is pretty much at a bare minimum. Ends up going for the substitute though, making a huge misplay, predicting me to probably go for a Lava Plume or something like that, thinking that it can set up and Dragon Dance all over my face. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't work out in his favor, because I do pack the Roar on this Heatran, which is great for me. So he did waste 25% of his HP, as he did reveal the Mega Evolution. Right here, I'm going to go for the Lava Plume, fishing for the burn, because I want to see if this is Unaware or Magic Guard. Just because that'll definitely be good information to know. So in the off chance that if it's Magic Guard, obviously, I mean, I don't have any setup sweepers on my team, but still, it's definitely good information to know, because they both, I mean, Magic Guard is the more popular Clefable, but I do know some Clefables that run Unaware over Magic Guard, so I'm not entirely sure. End up going for another Lava Plume. I honestly feel like they changed the burn ratio on Lava Plume this gen, just because I remember it always used to be 30%, but I've gotten a lot more burns with Lava Plume this gen than I did any other gen. Of course, I never really used Lava Plume any other gen, so maybe the chances didn't really change, but I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, turns out that it is Magic Guard, because it does not take any burn damage right here. It's pretty much fine by me. But I'm going to pull a cheeky double now. I'm going to go out into my my Raikou, predicting the double out into Gyarados, predicting me to try and kill this thing off. So I'm trying to get some momentum there, trying to get some, because then if he would have doubled out, I could have Volt Switch, gave me even more momentum. Unfortunately for me, she does opt to sack off this Clefable, so I did not get my prediction correctly, which really sucks. And now it's at the range of HP where I do believe that it would live a Volt Switch, so I'm forced to go for a T-Bolt. Hope it'll be able to knock it out, and fortunately for me, it is. So that definitely paid off. If it didn't, then I would have been in a terrible position. Anyways, the Gyarados comes back out, and, you know, I'm Choice Scarf, timid, able to outspeed, go for the Thunderbolt, and able to knock out that Gyarados, thus winning me the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, rate, comment, sub, and I will definitely see you all, hopefully, next Wi-Fi battle. Bye.